allow me to postulate a concept or a theory, if you will, that I sort of was thinking about today while coming back from lunch. It's now a couple hours later, but rather than wait till I get home and have this idea sort of stagnate on me, I wanted to throw it out there as quickly as possible. So I'm going to give you guys a Cliff Notes version of what's been going on in my head thinking about this. Specifically, I was thinking about the idea of spiritual-based, faith-based concepts. Most specifically, thinking of the year 2012. If any of you know what that means, then you know what I'm relating to. And for those of you that don't, the year 2012 by the Aztec Mayan calendar is supposed to be when this world is going to end. Now, depending on the particular philosophy that you follow, because there's a lot based on this, because of how every different group interprets this prophecy differently, it can mean everything from the world in all existence as we know it is going to end, to it is a point of spiritual awakening where the world as we know it currently is going to shift and take on a whole new direction, a whole new light. So it's an age of enlightenment, if you will. But like I said, there's a lot out there. So if you look it up, the year 2012, I'm sure you can find all kinds of stuff from end of days links to people talking about humanity evolving, all based on the calendar and the date that was set forth. Now, the idea that I'm throwing around in my head, and as I said, I'm postulating here, which means that you have to be willing to take certain liberties and assume certain things for this particular idea. It's simply a concept. It's simply a philosophy. It's not necessarily a statement of fact, and that's the reason why I'm postulating as such. But let's just say, for the point of this particular statement, that spiritual-based and religious-based concepts all have a modicum of truth to them. Let's just say, for the point of this statement, that Christianity, Judaism, Islam, and all the rest of them, at a point, are all based in reality, based in fact, based in in this world as being a legitimate source of information or a legitimate thing. Now, I'm not saying that it's not, because if it works for you, that's cool. But in this particular thing, because there is an argument that says that they don't, I'm removing that argument and saying that they do. So all of these different groups and factions have books and documents that were written in a particular time in history, speaking about the universe and the reality of life and the source of life and where we all come from and blah, 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 things like that. And as those documents were written, as those texts were written, it was a specific time in history with different realities of the world. Depending on the part of the world that it was written in, the reality that those people were experiencing the world as they knew it was all influential in those documents being created. Now, throughout history, they've been interpreted and reinterpreted and rewritten and redistributed and the like. And the main argument to this, or the main statement to this, is it doesn't matter when those books were written, it doesn't matter when those documents were written, the intent, God's will, the Almighty's will, the deity's will, was interpreted through the people into these documents. So it doesn't matter what time in history those particular documents were written, because at the end of the day, the deity being the deity and the omnipotent being that it is, knew all that was going on and had it interpreted appropriately. But here's what I'm saying. Now, like I said, the year 2012 is supposed to represent the change of our existence. It was created, it was prophesized a long time ago by a particular group of people. The world was a different place. The reality that we lived in was a different place. And the thing about prophecy and the thing about fortune telling, the thing about the future, if you're going by most concepts, is that it's not a constant. The future is potential. That small deviations of behavior, small deviations of action can create a brand new, entirely different future. So is it possible that when these prophecies and when these fortunes were told, that at that moment, at that time, that particular future was what could be? But as we've gone century upon century upon century since they have been written, the world and the people within it had changed and mutated to a completely different species and a completely different group of people. And yes, I did say species, and yes, I mean specifically species, because if you break it down on a scientific level, we've evolved. Not on such a scale that we have 6 arms and 12 heads and stuff, but the point being is that internally, biologically, all that stuff, we've evolved from how we were centuries ago. through breeding and just digestion and the like. But still, we are a different species of person. We live in a different world than when those future prophecies were created. So, is it possible that those futures are no longer legitimate, no longer applicable? And here we are, still holding on to the idea that this prophecy or that this concept is still has some merit, still has some value, still has some application. That's what I'm thinking. Now, I'm not saying that what has been said isn't a possibility, but what I'm saying is that it's also possible that what we thought was coming isn't, or as it's been defined for us, is no longer the reality, and there is something new that needs to be investigated, or something new that needs to be seen. So that's where my head is. I mean, that's a really, really gray version, really sort of rough draft version of what I was thinking. But I wanted to throw that out there and see what you guys and gals thought. There's more to it than that. I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody that wants to have it. Just send me a PM. We can talk. So until next time, this is Raven Labs, throwing some weird crap out at you because that's just the kind of mindset I'm in today. Talk to you later.